Hi, wonderful people. I welcome you back to today's episode of our Bible Summary Series. Genesis 41 is our focus today, where Joseph's life takes a dramatic turn. From being a forgotten prisoner to becoming Egypt's second in command, this chapter is a powerful testimony of how God can turn setbacks into breakthroughs. Let's dive in. 2 years after Joseph interpreted the cupbearer's dream, Pharaoh himself has two disturbing dreams that no one can explain. 7 fat cows grazing peacefully by the Nile. Suddenly, 7 thin, ugly cows emerge and devour them. 7 healthy ears of grain grow on a stalk, but 7 thin, scorched ears swallow them up. Pharaoh wakes up in distress, calling for his magicians and wise men. Pharaoh calls his magicians and advisors, but no one can interpret the dreams. His frustration grows.
Today I remember my shortcomings. When I was in prison, a Hebrew slave named Joseph interpreted my dream, and everything happened just as he said.
Immediately, Pharaoh sends for Joseph.
I have had a dream, and no one can interpret it, but I have heard that you can interpret dreams.
I cannot do it, but God will give Pharaoh the answer he desires.
Pharaoh recounts his dreams, and Joseph, guided by God, explains their meaning.
The 2 dreams have the same meaning. The 7 fat cows and the 7 healthy ears of grain represent 7 years of abundance, but the 7 thin cows and the 7 scorched ears represent 7 years of severe famine. God has revealed to Pharaoh what he is about to do. There will be 7 years of great prosperity in Egypt, followed by 7 years of terrible famine. The famine will be so severe that the abundance will be forgotten. Now let Pharaoh appoint a wise and discerning man to store up grain during the years of abundance, so that Egypt may survive the famine.
Can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God? Since God has made this known to you, there is no one as wise as you. You shall be in charge of my palace, and all my people will obey your orders. Only in respect to the throne will I be greater than you.
From prisoner to prime minister in a single day, Joseph's faithfulness and trust in God lead him to the highest position in Egypt, second only to Pharaoh. During the 7 years of plenty, Joseph wisely gathers and stores grain across Egypt, preparing for the famine. He marries Asenath, an Egyptian woman, and has 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, signifying how God has helped him forget his past suffering and made him fruitful in a foreign land. As Joseph predicted, the famine begins after 7 years. The people of Egypt cry out for food, and Pharaoh sends them to Joseph. Not only Egypt, but all the surrounding nations come to buy grain from Joseph, fulfilling God's plan to use him as a blessing to many. Genesis 41 teaches us valuable spiritual lessons. God's timing is perfect. Joseph waited 2 years in prison, but when the time was right, God elevated him instantly. Divine wisdom brings promotion. Joseph's ability to interpret dreams and offer solutions led to his rise in power. Preparation is key. Joseph didn't just interpret the dream, he took action, showing us the importance of planning. God turns trials into testimonies. What seemed like setbacks in Joseph's life were actually setups for his destiny. Faithfulness in small things leads to greatness. Joseph was faithful in Potiphar's house and in prison, and God made him ruler over Egypt. Joseph's journey from slavery to leadership reminds us that no matter how difficult our situation seems, God is always working behind the scenes. The famine has begun, and soon Joseph's own brothers will come seeking food. How will Joseph respond? Stay tuned for Genesis 42. Thank you for joining me on today's episode. If this summary inspires you, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more episodes and for this series to go far. Stay tuned for Genesis 42, where Joseph's past comes face to face with his present.